It's Superman! Yes, it's Superman!
Hello, I'm Trevor Alonso, and this is my reaction to the Superman trailer that just came out. I'm really hyped up for this. This actually looks really good. Now, I was skeptical a little bit. I wasn't too thrilled with the first picture that came out with Superman's suit. But this trailer definitely won me over, and I really wish this poster was the first picture we saw back in the summer. But years from now, when we think of this movie, we're not really going to be remembering all the marketing stuff early on. Okay, this trailer is really emotional. I'm kind of surprised it got to me so much. It's really good. At first, I did think it was a little weird that we see a defeated Superman right away, but as the trailer goes on, it just hits you with all the feels. David Cornsweet as Superman seems to be pulling it off. He comes off really good as Superman, and he comes off really good as Clark Kent, which are two completely different characters. And some shows and movies don't exactly get that. I like that for Superman he's completely upright, standing very tall, looking powerful, but as Clark Kent, you see that he's wearing a lot of baggier clothes, and slightly hunched over, and his hair is really messed up. Or not so much messed up, but like the new type of curls haircut, which if you look at that guy, you wouldn't be thinking, oh, this guy's Superman, which Superman does do in the comic books. There's even diagrams of how Superman hunches over slightly and wears his clothes sloppily as Clark Kent so that people won't suspect him. It's something Christopher Reeve did, where he didn't have his shoulders all high and didn't stand so tall as Clark Kent. I like it. They're trying to bring a lot more hope to this, which is something the Henry Cavill Superman didn't exactly have that much of. And that's not against Henry Cavill, that's more against the filmmakers. James Gunn really delivers that this is going to be more of a Superman of hope. You definitely see it in the shot, and one of the best shots in the whole trailer is when he saves a little girl from so much debris, which says so much about Superman, that he cares about everybody during a fight. Now, that's nothing really against the Man of Steel Superman. I did like that Superman, but it was very different. In fact, you could say this is night and day, being that this one's daylight. The color palette for this really reminds me more of the Superman comic books that I read. Superman comic books have always been more brighter and more colorful. Now, granted, every now and then it takes place at night, but if you notice that the color palettes, it does look brighter. And the music for this, I'm so glad they used John Williams' score. That score is so iconic that Superman's never gonna be able to leave it. James Gunn and Warner Brothers must have said, alright, let's just go ahead and lean into it. So they made a variation of John Williams' score. Now, that's not to say this is gonna be 100% that score. Obviously, they're doing like an updated version. I love the guitar riff on it. Kinda reminds me of some of the guitar riffs from the Top Gun anthem. I'm glad we finally get Krypto in a Superman movie. He does actually look adorable, and I'm guessing more in this version is it's more of a stay-at-home dog, meaning that Krypto mainly stays at the Fortress of Solitude, which I think we get a glimpse of the Fortress of Solitude in a couple of shots. One with the crystals coming out of the ground, and the second one being, I think Superman's in the fortress with one of his robots, which everyone's pretty sure is Kal-X, which of course is his helper robot, left over from his homeworld Krypton. Now, in the comic books, that robot does have a little bit of a personality, which if it was destroyed, Superman would be broken up that he loses a part of his home world. Alright, about the other superheroes in this. Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Guy Gardner Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl all look really great in this trailer. They may be a small form of the Justice League in this. They might call themselves something else, or they might be a nameless team. And according to James Gunn, they are funded by Maxwell Lord, which he's going to be different than what we saw in Wonder Woman 1984. And usually Maxwell Lord is a bad guy, or at times becomes a bad guy. I'll get into the plot here in a little bit. Lois Lane looks really great. Now, James Gunn did say that this is not an origin story, so it's already established that Superman is in the world here. What it looks like in this trailer is Lois Lane might already know, or she finds out that Clark Kent is Superman. I don't know how far into the relationship they're going to go in this. But obviously we can see they're together, and we do see her kiss Superman. We also see her kiss Clark Kent without his glasses, so obviously at that point she knows. The rest of the Daily Planet staff that we do see, they look identifiable as the Daily Planet staff. Like, I can look at that and say, that's Jimmy Olsen, that's gotta be Cat Grant. From what we see in the teaser the other day, we saw that the Daily Planet does have a globe on top. So it looks so iconic as that tall building. I mean, you look at that in any comic book skyline, you can point that out as, okay, that's Metropolis because it has the Daily Planet. Lex Luthor in this looks amazing. He looks like Lex Luthor. Doesn't look like a kid trying to play Lex Luthor on some goofy level like Jesse Eisenberg. So this looks like they're still going with the Lex Luthor is a businessman and super smart and a scientist, which is pretty much the Lex Luthor of modern day. James Gunn did say that in this movie, Lex Luthor and Superman meet for the first time, and what they know about each other is basically from public information. Alright, one more thing before I get into the plot. We do see Superman fighting a giant monster, which looks amazing. Okay, here's what they released to the public, what the plot is so far, and it's kind of vague. The film explores Clark Kent / Superman's journey to reconcile with his Kryptonian heritage with his adoptive family in Smallville, Kansas. That's a little vague. I do believe that's going to happen in this movie, but from what we see in this trailer, it looks like a lot's going to happen. We do see Kent Farm and Jonathan Kent. They do say a lot of inspiration from this comes from All-Star Superman, which a couple of months ago we did see the first teaser with Krypto, which is kind of reminiscent of Superman sitting in the clouds, looking on Earth. I'm kind of wondering if in this movie, Lex Luthor is using that Justice League team against Superman and is turning the public against him, which is also something that happens in Superman Birthright. We do see a very vague shot of Ultraman, or at least I think that's Ultraman, fighting Superman in a stadium. Of course, it could be Lex Luthor in a parasuit, and I'm kind of wondering if, like in Superman Birthright, where Lex Luthor brings on like a whole army to basically fight Superman, it makes it look like it's from Krypton. If that giant monster Lex Luthor engineered somehow are brought to Earth to basically fight Superman. Also, we see Lex Luthor with a gun, and I'm wondering if he has kryptonite bullets. Because of course Lex Luthor knows not to use just any regular gun against Superman. How much does he know about Superman's weaknesses? Has he been studying Superman this whole time? Because at one point we see Superman trapped inside some kind of glass containment unit. Of course he breaks out. Also, I'm glad to see that this Superman does have weaknesses and limitations, and they put it right there in the trailer. Because as a Superman fan, I'm tired of people saying, well, Superman's unstoppable. Why is there any kind of threat to him? I'm like, no, he has limitations. He's not so strong that nothing can beat him. But there's a weird public image that Superman's completely unstoppable, so that makes every story boring. It's like, no, even if he was unstoppable, there's still a story there. Like, with all that power, he can't save everybody. Also, it looks like in this trailer, they're gonna explore that a little bit, because there are people that look like they hate him, and then you see people crying for him. So I'm kind of wondering if they're gonna explore people hating him for saving these people or saving this part of the world, while this other part of the world isn't being saved or something bad is happening here, and if they hate him because he can't save everyone all at once. And again, I'm kind of wondering if that goes into the whole Lex Luthor turning everybody against Superman. Now, of course, this is all vague guesses, just shots in the dark. Some of this could be right, some of this could be wrong. Either way, I can't wait to go see this. It's coming out in July. I'm kind of surprised this isn't a July 4th movie. And one last callback this trailer has, I don't know if too many people have pointed this out, but all the title cards look like an updated version of the opening credits to Superman, the blue block letters in space. Alright, I can't wait to see this. Let me know what you think, what you want to see in a Superman movie, or what you don't like about this. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching this video.